Joining me now, Pete Snyder. This is unbelievable. Pete, a good friend of ours, as you know, ran for lieutenant governor in 2013 at the convention, frequent guest on our show. A lot of politicians talk. There's a lot of talk going out there. A lot of people talk. Pete Snyder, though, entrepreneur, businessman, started a company from his kitchen table in his apartment many years ago, understands what so many small businesses now are going through in order to survive. So what does he do? Instead of jabbering about like these other clowns, Pete actually starts a fund with his lovely wife, Burson Snyder. They stake it with $100,000 to start. They're raising money every day, and they started to help out small businesses in Virginia to get through the pandemic and to get through when they'll actually get the funding from the payroll protection program, which no one's really sure when that money is going to come in. You apply for it. There's kind of snags and bureaucracy, but he's put this fund together, and it is so cool. And what a great thing he's done. He's got other people involved in it, like Chap Peterson. Pete, without further ado, thanks for being with us. And this is really a great thing you guys have done.
Hey, Johnny, thanks so much for having me this morning. Look, you're a small business owner. You and Ann have built your business from absolute scratch, and it's hard. And I've never seen a scarier time than I'm seeing right now for small businesses. The carnage, through no fault of their own, from this coronavirus crisis is just unbelievable. As you mentioned before, 6.6 million people filing for unemployment. So, we, after a week or two of making sure that our family was safe and businesses were sound, Burson and I decided we needed to get off the sidelines and see about helping folks. So I would love to talk to you a little bit more about our Virginia 30-Day Fund and get the word out there to businesses in need and see how we can help them.
Well, Pete, I love what you're doing because even, everybody has their own perspective, but so many business owners I've talked to are scared to death because, they've been able to build a business. Doesn't mean you got extra cash lying around or you have a lot of cash flow or whatever, but you go through a couple of these months, April and May, with no business, like in our business. Our retail advertising shot, right, is gone. You're not going to advertise when you're not open, right? So nobody's going to do that. So, you build a business, you start it from scratch, you get it to a point where, okay, now I'm profitable, I'm somewhat successful, and then this hits and you get wiped out. So tell me about your new plan and how it works and how people can get involved in it.
Sure, John. Well, look, you hit it on the head. 50% of small businesses don't have more than 2 weeks of cash in their reserves. So
right.
something like this, where you're closed for 2 months or so, it's TKO. So what we're really doing is we've set up a 501c3, so it's a nonprofit. No one's making a dime out of this. We're fueling it, the first seed money, with $100,000 of our own money, and then raising from generous Virginians and folks from across the country who want to help, a fund that will give, no strings attached, forgivable loans up to $3,000 to small business owners based in Virginia who need help. So you can use that to pay your rent. You can use that to keep 2 employees on payroll. You can do that to make sure that your employees still have their health care during this critical time. So we just launched this morning, and John, just so far over the past couple hours, the response has been incredible. And I got to tell you, I got to give a lot of credit to the Virginia business and political community, and really the community that you've built with your show. So let me give you a quick example.
Go ahead.
One of the key features that we do with these forgivable loans is allow folks to pay it back if they want to. Now, John, I expect 98% of folks are not going to pay that back, but if you get a forgivable loan and 3 months from now you're in great shape and you want to pay back the $3,000 so we can help another business in need, we're allowing you to do that. So call it a pay it forward concept. Of all things, guess who came up with that? I was talking to Ben Tribbett, frequent guest of your show, ran by the idea of what we're doing with the 30-Day Fund, and he said, Pete, small business owners don't want charity. They work hard. They don't want to feel like they're, getting charity here. You need to put a pay it forward part of this. And that's become one of the most exciting and interesting things of what we do. Another example is I was able to talk to Senator Chap Peterson and his wife Sharon about what we're doing. And both have agreed to come on our advisory board. And the Petersons were kind enough and generous enough to donate $10,000 to the fund to help small businesses. So this is not, this is great. Virginians helping Virginians. Politics is, put on the shelf, and how do we roll up our sleeves and help each other? So it's really exciting.
I tell you what, I love what you're doing, Pete, because a lot of small businesses who have applied for the PPP, the Paycheck Protection Program, look, like anything of this magnitude, there's bureaucracy, there's snags. Like our bank told us that when we applied, okay, you're in, you applied, we sent it up. We have no idea how it's going to get funded. We have no idea how it closes. We have no idea when you get the money. Could be a week, could be a month, right? No one knows. And that's expected when you have something of this magnitude. So a lot of businesses are like, well, okay, I need money right now to get through the next payroll. I love what you're doing. I also love to pay it forward, because if things turn around quickly, you can simply pay that money back as you choose so that someone else can take advantage of it. And I commend Ben Tribbett for that. That's a great idea. See, that's what happens. Even though Ben's on the other side of the aisle, Ben is now a small business owner, right? So now he understands how this stuff works.
And John, who gives a rip about politics right now?
Exactly.
And that's really kind of it. And as it relates to the administration and Congress, look, they did everything they could with this $2 trillion of going into the economy. But as you know, as a small business owner, there's certain things that the private sector can do really well, and there's certain things that the public sector can. And this is a point in time, it's going to take a couple weeks to have those federal dollars hitting bank accounts. And we saw a need in the marketplace, and, we just, people can't wait for the federal government checks to arrive. So we're trying to fill the gap.
Look, Pete, I love the idea that you guys came up with, and just so we can tell for our small business owners that might be looking at this now, the application process is designed to be quick and easy for qualified small businesses. Number one, you have to be in Virginia. The first thing you do is visit va30dayfund.com. That's the number 30, va30dayfund.com. Fill out. It's a one-page form. It's easy to do. You have to submit 3-minute video of yourself and your partners in your business or whatever, talking about the business and your employees. Approval will occur within 3 days, and approved businesses can expect an immediate transfer of funds. This has been started again by Pete and his lovely wife, Burson Snyder, along with several other Virginia business leaders. They're going to oversee the approval process with assistance from the U.S. Chamber of Commerce and over 50 alumni of the University of Virginia's Darden School of Business. Pete, only an entrepreneur and businessman like yourself could have figured this out. And thanks.
I don't know
for
about
doing
that. I don't know about that, Johnny. But look, hopefully your listeners, if you know of people in your communities that are hurting, guide them our way. Y'all are in the front lines of what's happening in your communities. Have them apply. You can apply today before noon, and you'll have money in your bank account if you're approved by Friday. So we want to be quick, painless. You can do this all from your smartphone. It'll take you less than 10 minutes to fill out the application and send that video. So please join us at va30dayfund.com.
va30dayfund.com. And also, let me go over the businesses that qualify for assistance from the fund. Here are the small businesses that qualify. You have to employ 3 to 30 people. You have to be based in Virginia and operating for at least 1 year. And you have to be owned and operated by a Virginia residence. That's it. So fill out the form, take a shot with it, depending if you fit the criteria. And I want to thank Pete for his generosity, his wife Burson, Chap Peterson, and others, Pete. And, as I said, there's a lot of talking, Pete. There's just a lot of talking. I mean, you turn on the news every day. There's a lot of politics now coming in play here. It's very annoying to a lot of us that just want to get the economy reopened. I want to shift here for a second, Pete. A lot of us understand what we have to do in April, all right? Social distancing, stay at home, flatten the curve. I think Virginians understand this. All people in the United States understand it. Pete, we also understand this cannot go on for a prolonged period of time. You take this shutdown, this economic production shutdown, into May, into the end of May. Pete, millions and millions of small businesses are going to go out. They can't recover. Unemployment could get 25 or 30%. These are unheard of figures that we've never had. We're going down a path here that nobody's ever seen. Our position is in May, we're going to have to open things up, and we're going to have to understand how to live with this for a while. What say Pete Snyder?
Well, Johnny, look, I think we first have to make sure that we have this virus contained, or as much as possible. So I think continue the social distancing for the foreseeable future. And John, I think we need to plan for the worst. Look, I'm an optimist at heart. You can't be an entrepreneur and not be an optimist at heart. I believe our country and humanity will survive this, but it's going to be very painful, probably worse than we ever expected. So first and foremost, we need to make sure that our communities are safe. I do believe that some businesses, will be able to adapt, be able to do a lot of what they do online and be productive in one way, shape, or form in the weeks ahead. And I think that's going to happen, more on a region by region or state by state or locality by locality basis. Of all things, in the Bay Area, they're having some success whipping this thing. So I think it's, this is not a one-size-fits-all. But for the foreseeable future, John, we need to maintain social distancing. I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to play one on the radio. We need to make sure that first we're safe and we're not spreading this vile thing. And then, we need to do the hard work of getting our economy back going.
How do we do that?
Well, I think businesses need to adapt in the short term. How can you do what you do online? If you're a restaurant, it's really, really hard. Some folks are having great success in promoting takeout and doing things like that. But, John, I don't pretend to have all of the answers right now on how to rev back our economy. That's why I'm focusing on how do we save as many small businesses. And look, if this, we call it the Virginia 30-Day Fund, we may have to add another 30 days or another 30 days after that. I don't know. But we're going to do everything we can to make sure that we get people over this, what we're really calling a death valley of the next couple of weeks before federal dollars hit bank accounts. But plan on it being worse than you expected, John.
Our view is we have to get through April, and we will. We'll get through April. I think we got to see this curve getting flattened because, the one thing with the virus, Pete, that we try to emphasize is that really what we have to do is be sure that the health system is not overrun, so that we have the ventilators, we have the ICU beds that we need. That's why we don't want this to spike. When Dr. Fauci says, we can get back to normal when things are at zero, it's an asinine statement to make. It's not going to be zero for a long, long time. And if you shut the economy down, there's no country to come back to. So that's just an asinine statement. I get where he's coming from, but I think what President Trump has to do is maintain the balance. And like he said the other day, he's an optimist, and he said, I expect the NFL football season and college football season to open, and I expect stadiums to be packed with 50,000 people at the end of August, 1st of September. I hope he's right, and I would like to see that, and hopefully we can all get there. But Pete, again, I can't overemphasize your generosity and that of your wife, Burson Snyder, with your VA 30-Day Fund. I think it is so great to have it and to give people an opportunity to get involved in it, Pete. And I also want to point out to our listeners, there was a big story on it today in the Washington Post. And I read the story, and it was really great, Pete.
Well, hey, Johnny, I appreciate that. We have not even begun to do anything. So I want to ask you right here on the air if we can count on your help, meaning we would love for you to be talking about this in some way, shape, or form every single day as we go through the next 30 days. Get the word out to your listeners. You have a very rabid and large following out there. And really, I say this, John, the community that you've helped foster has allowed for bringing folks like Ben Tribbett and Sharon and Chat Peterson in the fold here, and us all working together. So that's a huge credit to you and to your show and everything that you do for the Commonwealth.
Well, thank you. I just got a text here from Amy in Fairfax who says, I want to contribute to the fund. How do I contribute?
She can go right on va30dayfund.com. Hit the donate button there, and you can help out a business. $3,000 will support a business throughout the 30-day period. You can give as little as $3 or $30 or $300. Whatever you want to do, Amy, we appreciate it. Would love to have your help.
That's another thing. Anybody out there that wants to contribute to this fund to help small businesses in Virginia, because there's a lot of talk going on, as I say. I'm less interested in talk. I'm interested in action. And so, look, anybody, even if you got an extra $25, I mean, it all adds up.
It all adds up, John.
Yeah, it all adds up. It doesn't. You don't have to give $3,000. You don't have to give $300. You can give $50. You can give $25. You give $5. You give something, because it all adds up to help another small business out, because we have to help each other. Let me give that again. Go to va30dayfund.com, and that's 30, va30dayfund.com, and you can contribute there. Also, if you're a small business that would qualify, go ahead and do the app, do the video, go ahead and do that, see what happens. But Pete, a fabulous idea you guys came up with, and I want to thank Jeff Peterson also. I mean, you've been able to put together, like you said, let's get rid of politics, let's get rid of the nonsense, let's all try to work together to get something meaningful for these small businesses who, many of them, are losing revenue. They're struggling to survive. They have to stay at home. I mean, it's not easy. For a lot of businesses out there, Pete, it's scary.
Well, Johnny, it is petrifying out there, and we're here to help in whichever way that we really can. And, John, I ask you, one, thanks for your support. Appreciate you being a partner and talking about this over the next 30 days. And hopefully, if you'll have us back in a couple days where we can talk about some of the businesses that we funded, maybe even have those small business owners on your show if you'd be willing to.
Absolutely.
Call up Chap, get him on your airwaves. He always makes good radio, and he's a terrific guy.
We'll try to get Chap on tomorrow, but I love that idea. We'll talk it up every day, and as people get funded with this and they're able to get through the month, and look, don't sneeze at $3,000, people. For a small business right now, getting $3,000, I mean, that's the difference between paying your rent and your electricity and not paying it, right? It's for a lot of small businesses, it's 2 weeks of payroll. I mean, it's a big deal for small businesses.
Don't furlough your employees. If we can help save at least one job or someone's health care, that's what it's all about. It's not going to, is this going to be make or break? In some cases it will. But we're just doing everything that we can to help.
Pete Snyder, you're the man. I want to thank you for being with us today. Also, my best to your lovely wife, Burson, her being involved here too. And, of course, Pete, we have to give a shout-out to your lovely daughter, B, who I still have.
Thank you, Johnny. She misses her Uncle Johnny, and we just appreciate your help. We haven't done anything yet, and we'll do a lot of hard work in the days ahead, but hopefully we can help some folks, and we appreciate your partnership.
Tell B her Christmas card still hangs on our refrigerator that she made herself. John Fredericks Radio Network. Pete Snyder, thank you, Pete, for being with us.